Welcome everyone! In today's video, we'll follow the journey of a young man as he builds a wooden house deep in the forest. Using only natural materials and his own craftsmanship, he will bring this unique home to life. How will he make it happen? Let's find out together! To begin, he carefully clears the surrounding area. Then, with steady hands and determination, he starts digging the foundation, laying the groundwork for the wooden house that will soon rise in the heart of the forest. Next, he makes his way deep into the forest, searching for the right trees that will provide the perfect timber for his home. With patience and skill, he saws each trunk into strong, straight beams, making sure they are the right size and quality. These freshly cut pieces of wood are then carried back, ready to be shaped and assembled for the framework of his wooden house. He begins by digging deep, sturdy holes in the ground, carefully measuring the spacing to ensure perfect alignment. Into these holes, he raises the heavy wooden posts, positioning them as the main support columns for the wall framework. Each post is secured firmly, forming the strong and stable backbone of the wooden house. He moves on to the next step by skillfully carving precise joints into each crossbeam, a process that requires patience and precision to ensure the pieces fit together perfectly. Each notch and groove is carefully shaped, allowing the beams to lock into place. Once the joints are ready, he carefully joins the ends of the beams, assembling them into sturdy frames. These frames form the skeleton of the house, with the main section built as a long rectangle to serve as the primary living space. On one side, a portion of the frame extends outward, creating a covered front porch area. This thoughtful arrangement results in an L-shaped structure, combining both practicality and charm for his forest home. With the wall framing in place, he turned his attention to shaping the roof. First, he placed tall vertical columns right in the center of the structure. These were set deep and firmly in place, as they would carry the majority of the roof's weight. With steady hands, he lifted and attached long horizontal beams to the tops of these columns, creating a strong ridge that ran the entire length of the house, the defining spine of the roof. Once the main ridge is complete, he applies the same technique to the extended porch section. This ensures that the two sections merge seamlessly, both structurally and visually. The result is a seamless roofline that enhances the stability of the entire structure. He then moves on to working on the base of the house. With precision and patience, he saws and chisels joints into the bottoms of the main support posts, shaping them so they can lock securely with the connecting beams. Once the joints are ready, he fits sturdy wooden beams between the posts, joining them tightly to form a strong rectangular frame. This frame will serve as the foundation for the floor, ensuring it is stable, level, and capable of supporting the weight of the entire structure. On top of this sturdy frame, he begins fastening wide wooden planks, carefully aligning each one so the surface is smooth and even. One by one, the planks are secured firmly, their tight fit leaving no gaps between them. As he works, the empty frame is gradually transformed into a solid, level floor, the first completed surface of the house. Returning to the roof, he shifts his focus to shaping its full structure. One by one, he lifts long wooden beams into place, angling them carefully from the ridge down to the top edges of the side walls. Each rafter is cut to the correct length, its ends shaped to fit snugly into the joint, ensuring both strength and stability. As he works, the evenly spaced rafters begin forming a symmetrical slope on both sides, creating the classic pitched roof silhouette. Every connection is tightened and reinforced, so the structure can withstand both time and weather. But he doesn't stop there. Once the rafters are in place, he continues by adding evenly spaced horizontal battens across the entire roof. Each batten is carefully measured and secured perpendicular to the rafters, creating a sturdy grid-like base. This framework will serve as the foundation for the roofing material, ensuring it can be laid out evenly and held firmly in place. With his saw in hand, he set out into the woods again, searching for the perfect tree. After careful consideration, he selected a large, sturdy trunk of moderate thickness and strength. Setting the saw in place, he began to cut the wood, skillfully splitting it into thin, round slabs. Each cut was even and precise, creating smooth. He starts by carefully draping a large sheet of nylon over the entire roof frame, making sure it covers every rafter and edge without leaving any gaps. With the waterproof layer in place, he brings out the round wooden slabs he had cut earlier in the forest. One by one, he begins nailing them onto the roof, starting from the bottom edge and working his way upward. Each slab is positioned so that the upper row slightly overlaps the row beneath it, creating a natural shingle effect. This careful arrangement not only adds durability, but also channels rainwater down and away from the house. Row after row, the roof transforms from a bare frame into a rustic yet sturdy wooden covering. The overlapping circles create a unique texture, blending the handcrafted beauty of natural wood with the practical strength needed to withstand the elements. By the time he finishes, the house stands proudly beneath its new roof, ready to face the changing seasons in the heart of the forest. Returning to the main wall frame, he begins refining its structure by adding evenly spaced vertical beams within each section. These beams divide the large wall panels into smaller, more manageable segments, ensuring greater stability and strength. Each vertical piece is measured precisely, cut to the exact height, and fitted snugly between the top and bottom beams of the frame. This step is not just about reinforcement, it also serves a practical purpose. The newly added vertical supports create a solid base for the wall cladding that will come next, giving the wooden planks a secure surface to attach to. As the framework grows denser and more defined, the skeleton of the house takes on a more complete form, setting the stage for the walls to be enclosed and the interior to take shape. He selects sturdy logs and saws them into sections, each one matching the exact width of the wall panels he has prepared. Once the logs are cut to size, he begins splitting and slicing them into thin wooden planks. Using the freshly cut planks, he begins the process of enclosing the walls. Starting from the bottom of the frame, he places each plank horizontally, fitting them tightly side by side so there are no gaps. With each nail driven in, the wall becomes sturdier and more secure. Slowly, he works his way upward, row after row, ensuring every board aligns perfectly with the one below it. As the layers rise, the open framework of the house begins to disappear behind a warm, natural wooden surface. While installing the wall planks, he carefully leaves open spaces for the house's windows and main door. Each opening is measured with precision to ensure proper alignment and symmetry with the overall structure. These carefully planned openings not only serve practical purposes, but also add balance and character to the wooden walls, giving the house both function and charm. At the two window openings, he adds a layer of transparent plastic, stretching it tightly across the frames to act as a protective barrier against wind and rain while still allowing sunlight to pour inside. Once the plastic is secured, he trims the edges neatly and frames the perimeter with slim wooden strips. He then crafts the main door, carefully selecting strong wooden planks and joining them together into a solid, well-fitted panel. Each piece is aligned perfectly, creating a sturdy surface that will withstand daily use and the changing weather. With precise adjustments, he sets the door into its frame, ensuring it swings smoothly and closes tightly. After securing it in place, the entrance to his forest home is finally complete, strong, functional, and welcoming, marking an important step toward finishing the build. On the floor beneath the front porch, he gathers a collection of flat, thin stones from around the forest. Each stone is chosen for its shape and smoothness, making it suitable for walking on. Once he has enough, he begins arranging them carefully across the ground, fitting each piece snugly against the next like a natural puzzle. Layer by layer, the bare earth disappears under the cool, textured surface of the stone. He then connects the two front porch posts by installing a sturdy horizontal beam between them, forming the base of a simple railing. The beam is measured and cut precisely so it fits tightly into place, both strengthening the porch structure and adding a defined boundary to the space. This new railing not only enhances safety, but also frames the porch beautifully, giving it a finished and inviting look. With the posts now joined, the porch feels more complete, a cozy spot to sit, lean, and enjoy the peaceful view of the surrounding forest. He begins by selecting a few of the strongest, most durable wooden beams he can find. With a sharp woodworking tool in hand, he patiently shaves and shapes the beams into perfectly square-edged pieces, paying close attention to every detail. Once all the pieces are prepared, he starts constructing the tabletop frame. He arranges the square beams into a sturdy rectangular shape, securing each joint with precision. Every corner is measured and adjusted multiple times to make sure the frame is perfectly balanced. For the legs, he decides on a practical yet clever folding design. This requires extra care, as the moving parts must fit tightly enough to remain stable when in use, yet flexible enough to fold smoothly when stored away. Once the folding legs are securely attached to the frame, he begins fastening wooden planks across the top. He placed the finished table against the porch railing, carefully aligning it so that it was at a comfortable and stable height. Using sturdy nails, he fastened the table frame to the railing, ensuring that it would not wobble or move during use. As for the seat, he just sought a large piece of wood to fit in. He positions the finished table against the porch railing. Carefully, the section of the railing that connects directly to the wall is built differently. Instead of using wood, he chooses to construct it with stone and mud for added strength and durability. He carefully gathers flat, sturdy stones from the surrounding area, stacking them layer by layer while filling the gaps with a thick mixture of mud to bind them together. Not only does this method create a strong connection, he plans to turn it into a kitchen location. He gathers several pieces of tree roots with many branching arms, each one uniquely shaped and full of natural character. After cleaning and trimming them to the right size, he fastens these roots securely along the porch railing, their twisted branches creating a sturdy, organic framework. Onto some of these branches, he installs small wooden shelves, carefully measuring and fastening each one so they sit level and secure. The result is a series of natural branch-like supports with functional platforms, a creative and rustic space for placing kitchen utensils, cookware, or small decorative items. He placed two large rocks side by side, right next to the porch railing, creating a simple outdoor stove. Between the two rocks, he lit a small fire, using dry branches and dry wood until the fire burned evenly. Placing a pot on the rocks, he began to cook a simple meal, the aroma spreading quickly. When the meal is ready, he sits down on the porch, enjoying each bite while taking in the gentle breeze and the view of nature around him. Back to work, he moved to the back wall of the house, where a small opening had been intentionally left. This space would become an important focal point of his home. He began by digging out the soil, carefully expanding the area to create enough space for a kitchen area. Once the space is prepared, he gathers flat, solid stones and starts stacking them skillfully, layer by layer, using mud as a natural mortar to hold everything in place. Slowly, the shape of a stone stove emerges, its back pressed neatly against the house wall, so it feels like an extension of the structure itself. This thoughtful design allows the stove to be both practical and efficient, making it easy to cook outside while keeping the warmth and smoke away from the interior. By the time he finishes, the new stone stove stands ready, solid, rustic, and perfectly blended into the natural charm of his forest home. He decides to make a smaller folding table for the inside of the house, choosing compact dimensions so it fits neatly into the limited space. Around the house, he begins by clearing away overgrown plants, fallen branches, and tangled underbrush, creating a tidy and open space that blends naturally with the surrounding forest. Once the area is clean, he turns his attention to the slope in front of the house. With a shovel in hand, he carefully digs into the earth, shaping a series of evenly spaced steps into the slope. Each step is leveled and reinforced, making the climb easier and safer. By the time he finishes, a simple yet sturdy staircase has formed, guiding the way from the front yard up to the porch. This not only improves access to the house, but also adds a welcoming touch. To make the staircase more durable and comfortable to use, he gathers several sturdy wooden planks and begins cutting them to the exact size of each step. One by one, he places the planks over the earthen steps, securing them firmly so they sit flat and stable. The smooth wooden surface not only makes walking up and down easier, but also protects the steps from erosion during rain. As the final plank is nailed into place, the staircase takes on a neat, finished appearance that matches the warm, rustic style of the house. To make the entrance more inviting, he plants a few small trees along both sides of the staircase. Carefully, he digs neat holes at evenly spaced intervals, placing each young tree into the soil and gently packing the earth around its roots. Finally, he finished the entire garden by adding stones to the path and covering it with a lush layer of moss. He carefully collected fresh, vibrant moss from shady areas of the forest, then laid each layer of moss close together on the ground, making sure there were no gaps. The moss becomes a lush green landscape, creating a striking contrast with the warm tones of the wooden house and stone details. And with that, his house is complete. Thank you for accompanying him on this journey. If you like, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription so you don't miss the next videos. Goodbye and see you again.